Hi there, welcome to SharqiDance. My name is Yame, and every Thursday I'm here on this channel breaking down basic belly dance technique. Today we're going to be working on hip slides, so let's go ahead and get up and get started. For this movement, I like to stand with my feet just a little bit further than hip width apart. When I say hip width apart, what I mean is the width of our hip bones, just about the hip bones or the hip joints, okay? So not the full width of the hips. I do recommend that before you go into this movement that you check out my video on basic posture. So I'm going to link that on this video and down in the description. And once you're done with that, come back to this video and we'll get started with this movement. We want the knees to be soft, the tailbone down, soft engagement through the lower belly. The chest is open, but the ribs are relaxed. So from here, we're going to slide the hips side to side, keeping the level of our hip bones the same throughout the movement. So for that to happen, we want to keep the angle of the knees just about the same throughout the movement. So the knees are soft, the tailbone is down. I maintain that stability of my pelvis as I slide side to side. So notice the angle of my knees doesn't shift. I'm not alternating, bending, and straightening my legs here. So legs stay about the same length the whole time. If I was alternating my legs, it would look like this from the side. So alternating, bending, and straightening. If I start to do that, and I show you from the front, then there's a level change that happens at the level of the hip bones. So we want to just stabilize that. Ground down through your feet, tailbone down. Keep the angle of the knees the same and just slide side to side without alternating the legs. Another thing to keep in mind here is trying to isolate the movement so that the movement is visible from the waist down and not a whole big weight shift side to side. So as I'm sliding side to side, I don't want to see my whole body shift from one side to the other. We want to really try to stabilize the upper body and move from the waist down so that if you were seeing me just from the waist up, you wouldn't be able to tell that there's all this movement going on from the waist down. Also, keep the direction of the hip bones facing forward. So if you were to imagine that your hip bones are actually flashlights, you want those flashlights pointing forward the whole time as opposed to pointing in the diagonals. So keep this facing forward, sliding side to side. And then just feel the way that your weight shifts from one side to the other. There is a weight shift, it just shouldn't be visible from the waist up. Very good, so shake it out. Now I'll show you the hip slides forward and back. I will show you that from the side. So again, same posture, feet just outside the width of your hip bones apart, toes pointing forward, knees pointing forward, soft bend of the knees, tailbone down, and slight engagement through the lower belly. The chest is open, the ribs are relaxed. From here, I'm going to slide the hips forward and back, forward and back. So I come into a different alignment here, where my hips come forward of my ribs, and then they slide back, and the front of my hip bones are behind the front of my ribs. So forward and back. And really important, as we come through the back portion of this movement, to be lengthening the lower back and pointing the tailbone down. What we don't want here is to arch back as we come back. And this is something that most of us go into because we're a little bit more used to kind of hinging at the hips to shift the hips back. That's not the motion that we want for this particular movement right now. So we want to slide back keeping that length through the lower back, pointing the tailbone down as opposed to arching the back here. So I don't want to go into pelvic tilts, arching. I want to keep the tailbone down as I slide back. So take some practice. I recommend placing your hands on your lower back or placing one hand on your lower back and just feeling the position of your sacrum here. Is it pointing down or is it kind of pointing back? So make sure you're pointing down here. Good. So do a couple of those. I will show you from the front. Can't really see very well what's going on when you see it from the front, but my tailbone is down as I slide back. And then we have the side to side hip slides. And the whole time I'm trying to keep my upper body still. Knees don't alternate. And come back to center. Let's take a deep breath in. And breathe all the way out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember that all these movements do take practice to get them into our bodies, so be very, very patient and very kind to yourself as you go through these movements and through your journey learning this dance. If you like this video and you want to see more, like I said, I am here every single Thursday, so be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you're notified when there's a new video. And also, if you have any questions or comments, don't forget to comment and like the video. And if you want to learn belly dance from me with real-time feedback online, go to SharqiDance.com to see what classes I have to offer. And I will see you next time. Bye.